Hello, Star Wars fans. Okay, and this is issue 20 right here for the Star Wars Build Your Own X-Wing. This is the last issue for month 5. Okay, and here we go. Making the cannon. And Starfighter Aces Zev Seneska. And going through this, and here you see some of the backing for some of the original action figures right here, and the original X-Wing toy, and then you have Zev right there, and laser generator. And then we get to the build. Okay, so we are building the entire second laser cannon in this issue. This is 30 steps. So, yes, literally, we'll have the entire second laser cannon built by the end of this. Alright, so I'm going to take out all the parts. And ton of parts. Did that little... Yes, it did. There we go. Okay, that went down. That little front cap right there. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to do, and you notice that I do have both coats of paint on there, is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to paint this one right here. So by the time it comes to actually putting the generator in the housing here, I should hopefully already have both coats on this. All nice and dry. And then we can just put it together. Because definitely if I do this now, or at least start it now, within a few minutes, hopefully by step 15 there, if it hasn't come to, actually I'll look ahead, so halfway to, it's saying to put the generator on this side of the housing. I am going to put the second coat on. So that way it has time to dry again before assembly. And I know the last thing you really want to do is sit there and watch me paint again, but if you're building this and you want to do the blackout yourself, it's something you're going to have to do as well. So Okay. Alright, there we go. Just, yep, okay. Yep. It's got the same distance in. Alright, so we will just come back to that, and I will look ahead and check to see where it says to put the housing in. Okay, so, oh, yeah, okay. So it does say by step 15 to put the generator in that half of the housing. So that means by step 7 or 8, I gotta paint or put the second coating in on that. Alright. Lower port laser cannon. This issue's components complete the laser cannon that you began in stage 19. You have two sub-assemblies, the laser generator and its internal LED lighting effect, and the parts to complete the wingtip housing and the barrel of the weapon. Okay. And also, before we start step 1, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this LED in right now just to double check to see if it works. Okay, a nice bright red LED right there. Okay, so that works. So I won't need to test it again until everything is complete. Okay, so making the cannon. All parts provided are used in this stage. After assembling the parts of the laser generator, you will need the pieces you put together in stage 19, which you will now use to complete the cannon. Okay, so step 1, take the 7 parts of the laser generator casing plus the LED, which is wired to a plug. Okay, so we got that, we got this, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that and that. So 7 parts plus LED. There we go. Okay, so step 2, press the halves of the forward generator body together this way round with the LED wire running through the holes at each end. Ensure the pin and socket that join the halves don't trap the wires. Okay, so Okay, so that half and this half, let me just make sure that's, okay, so right there and there. Okay, so that like that, and that like that. Okay, and so far still moving, and still moving. Okay, so step 3. Fit the LED into the small hole in the end of the forward generator end cap, which is not that, which it is this right here. Okay, like that. Gently push the LED into the hole so its shoulder sits on the rim. Oh. Ah, no. Okay, it's this. It's this right here. Okay. There's multiple pieces that actually have these lock tabs or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so alright. So this is the point where we have to be very, very careful. So, tweezers. Okay. So as you can see, it is protruding from that side. And step 5, and its tip protrudes from the end cap just like this, just as I already showed you. Or if you want a closer look. Like that. Okay, and step 6 is pull the wire back through the generator body and push the end cap onto it. The lug shown only allows it to fit in one position. Okay, so just like here. Okay. Alright, so push that. Alright, there we go. Alright, nice and flush. Okay, so step 7, feed the central union over the other end of the wire, noting the projecting lug which only allows it to fit in one position, which is this right here. And if you remember, this is the piece that has the little spot, so that way the wire doesn't get pinched when the rest of the assembly goes together. Okay, and step 8 is push the union onto the generator body. And this time I remembered not to push on the LED itself, because I definitely don't want to have to pull this apart just to get that back in. Okay, so step 9, feed the wire into the groove indicated and take the rear end cap, which also has a slot to match the internal lug in the central union. Okay, which that right there. So match that up, right? Just like that. Wire off to the side in that little slit. Step 10, push the end cap into the central union, leaving the wire coming out through the groove in the union. Alright, just like that. Alrighty, and step 11. Okay, take the 2 halves of the rear generator body and fit the internal pins into the matching sockets. Oh, yeah, hold on. Okay, cutting that short a little bit. Yes, because I completely forgot. Time to put the second coat on. I was getting way too ahead of myself here. And if you notice, the first coat is completely dry. So yep, putting the second coat on right now. I am so happy that I remembered about this right at the last moment. Because now this should have all, I'm hoping that the second coat will actually be dry. Before we get to have to actually push this together. Last thing we need is to get paint, still wet paint on the LED itself, which could be a disaster. So alright, so there we go. Alright, so we don't need that paint anymore. Alright, set that off to the side. Okay, so we were step 11. Take the 2 halves of the rear generator body and fit the internal pins into the matching sockets. Just like that. Alright, step 12, so you can push the halves together firmly. Just like that. Alrighty, step 13, align the slot in the thick end of the rear generator body with the lug in the end cap and push the cap into place. Alright. Alright, there we go. And step 14 is take the completed generator, both halves of its housing, the 2 end caps, and the fiber optic. Oh, yeah, and the fiber optic, which is right there. Okay. So, okay, see, and this is where the expert tip comes in place, which, just so that way I give the paint a little bit more time to dry. Expert tip number 1, as the laser cannon's lighting effect comes from the LED housed in the laser generator, you may notice a slight glow from the generator housing when the cannon fires. If you prefer to conceal this effect, apply some matte black modeling paint to both halves of the housing. And part 2, or step 2 of this whole thing, is paint the whole of the area shown and allow both halves of the housing to dry before assembling them as in the following steps. Okay, and if you notice, paint is still a little bit wet in there, so we're gonna give that a little bit more time to dry. I'm just getting off a little bit of the excess that was just sitting there in a little spot. Okay, so step 15 was to put this into this half, and like I said, the paint is not quite dry, so we will just shoot back. Okay, now the only thing is that the housing right here, if it's anything like the housing on the other laser cannon, off camera I was able to actually slide this in without actually taking the entire thing apart. So it might be possible once again to do it like this, because even after I had pulled this in half and put that half over the top of this half, I could still slide that out. So I honestly don't know why they have you take the entire thing apart if this can actually slide in and out by itself. It's almost like they were just trying to give you more unnecessary work to do. So I don't know. It could just be me. Could definitely just be my matter of opinion right there. So, and if you notice, yes, I am stalling for time a little bit. Alright, that's just got like maybe another couple of minutes right there. The paint I use is an acrylic paint, something that I would normally use for the model cars that I would normally build. It's the Model Master Flat Black. It is an acrylic. So, really like that stuff. It really works well on, you know, like models where you need that blackout, like this X-Wing here, or if, you know, you build any other models like model airplanes or model cars where, you know, it has some like internal part or external part that needs, you know, paint done on it. Of course, you know, some of those models you actually have to, you're supposed to glue the parts together and then do your detail paint with that. So, because otherwise it'll screw up the paint job if you glue it on afterwards. Alright, might hopefully be close to being done. And I do say hopefully close to being done. I'm just checking it with the dry part of my finger in the spot where the LED sits. Just so it dries a little bit faster. It was almost dry anyway. Just making sure it's completely dry. Alright. Okay. That should be good right there. Okay. So, step 15. Align the laser generator with the half of the cannon housing supplied this time, fitting the 2 pins into the sockets in the housing. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually going to kind of skip ahead because it wants us to put the fiber optic in this step, but I want to check this. Okay, I want to get the, you notice that the fiber optics kind of have like a sharp angle on them on either side. It's cut at an angle. So, me personally, I'm going to grab my pair of scissors and I'm going to level that off just a little bit. The first cannon, I was lucky enough to have one side that was almost completely flat. So, and you don't want to, you just want to trim enough off so that way it just sits a little flatter, because you want it pushed directly right up flat. See, so flatter, and that's more like what you want. You don't want it at an angle at all. So, all right. So, oh hey, would you look at that? You don't need to pull it in half. Okay, so this actually covers steps 16 and 17 right here. Fit one end of the fiber optic into the notches in the housing with its tip in contact with the LED in the generator. Step 17, fit the other half of the generator housing, ensuring that the LED wire comes out through the notch on the side of the housing. Which, that's done. And that's done. Okay, step 18. Take the rear end cap and align it with the end of the housing. Aligned. Okay, and step 19. Okay, see, all it said was align it. It didn't say put it on. You notice that? Okay, there we go. That's on. Okay, step 19. Slip the front cap over the fiber optic and the end of the housing, and the hole in the front cap are D-shaped, so they only fit one way around, ensuring that the two side tubes will fit into the holes indicated. Okay. See? Look at that. Just slid right out. Alright, now that's down all the way. Okay, and then we fit this in. Okay, and D-shape. Alright. And let's see if... there we go. And woohoo! Okay, so my first laser cannon, if you saw that video, you would have seen that these pipes were bent because they apparently offset the holes. So this one's actually straight, which I am very happy about that. Okay. Step 20, press the end cap firmly into place, making sure that the side tubes are properly located in the holes shown in step 19. Okay, step 21. Take the completed laser generator housing together with the barrel assembly from stage 19 and all the remaining parts supplied this time. Okay, which this is all the parts remaining from this time right here. And the barrel, yep. Step 22. Feed the fiber optic through the barrel assembly from stage 19 so you can fit the barrel onto the front cap. Okay, there we go. Step 23, push the barrel all the way home. It actually says that. It actually says that. Yeah, that's no joke. That's no joke. Hey, look. Push the barrel all the way home. Oh goodness, that's funny. Oh goodness. And that's not even going down all the way either. Okay, that's... come on. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay. Alright. That was actually tougher getting that barrel on than the one on the other side. The first barrel. Okay, so step 24. Fit half the suppressor mount over the flange end of the laser cannon emitter. Okay. So... oh. Nope. Wrongo. Okay, come on. Where is it? That way. I got ahead of myself. Again. Or again. Okay, there we go. And step 25, match up the pins and sockets on the two halves of the suppressor mount and press the suppressor mount together. Okay, there we go for that. Oh, yeah, there we go, and I almost tried putting it on backwards again. Oh, that one didn't want to go on. Okay, why does that not want to go on? There must just be some little bit of flash molding on that piece still. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, we good. We golden. Okay, step 26. Feed the fiber optic onto the suppressor mount and through the laser cannon emitter. Wonka, wonka, wonka. Okay. And step 27. Push the suppressor mount onto the barrel. Alright, there we go. Step 28. Fit the suppressor over the emitter and press it into the suppressor mount, lining up the lug with a notch in the mount. Okay. Come on. Come on. I know you want to go in. Why does it not want to go in? That's the right way. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, there's a slight little issue. The lug is not as wide as the spot for it, so this one I might actually have to glue in place. Drat. No big deal. At least this time it's not actually much of a big deal. Okay, just a little bit of glue, and this time this is definitely all I will need is just a little bit of glue, and I'm only going to put it on the one side right here. So alright, let that dry. Okay, so step 29. Press the smaller end of the clear tip into the end of the emitter. Alright, remember that little tiny clear cap? There we go, right there. And just pushing that in. Which this does have a little bit of flash mold on it. Which, there we go, it's off. Okay, and step 30 is take the battery box used for testing and plug in the lead from the laser cannon to make sure that the tip lights up. Alright, which, seeing as I already tested the LED, alright, I'll get some more of the lights off right here. Okay, I only got one light on at the moment. I normally have 3. And you can see nice and bright. And you can still see the red through here. And this looks like the same amount of red through there. And can still see the red through that spot right there. Okay, so let's get the other light off. Alright. Super nice and bright. You can definitely see the red through the cap right there. Awesome. Alright. So I just turned the one light back on. Don't really need the rest on at this moment, because all it is keep the completed laser cannon ready to fit to the ship later. Don't be tempted to glue the parts, as you will need to align the cannons accurately once they are fitted to the tips of the S-foils. Which, yes, seeing as we know from the beginning of this month, this gets screwed in place in 3 places on the wings. So you shouldn't actually have to glue this at all. So, alright, yep, so the suppressor is nice and in place. Lights up. And yeah, there we go. We got a second one already in raring. Yay! Alright, so I can set that aside for now and find a drawer. But, okay, so obviously, because we completed the second cannon, and seeing as I can't show you next month's parts because they're doing nothing but putting artwork on the back of these issues now, obviously we're going to be building the second wing for month 6. And they might decide they're going to skip a little bit. I don't know when we're going to be doing any more canopy pieces. That clear window could have just been a fluke. Maybe they'll actually decide to build the second wing and add a little bit more canopy parts in there. I can't be positive. We'll just have to wait and see until month 6 comes out. So until the next build your own Star Wars X-Wing, or until the next build your own R2-D2, or until the next Transformers video, thanks for watching.